In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a full step-by-step tutorial on how to start Amazon KDP in 2026. Now guys, this is going to be a complete tutorial. We will go through everything step by step. I'll explain everything here on camera, but I will also be walking through each one of these steps click by click with you on screen recording. You will be able to follow along on your own computer, and by the end of this tutorial, you will have your first book uploaded to Amazon. Now guys, before we jump into this tutorial, if you are anything like me, I like to know the credibility or why I should listen to someone who's giving me business or financial advice. So real quickly, for those of you who don't know, I've been in online business for over 10 years now. I've been doing Amazon KDP since 2018, and in this whole journey, I've made several millions of dollars in profit. What I have set as my goal is to turn around and give you guys full step-by-step real tutorials that show you on screen recording and not charge you guys for them in expensive courses. So needless to say, this is going to be a course level tutorial on Amazon KDP. And in addition to showing you how I do everything that I do, I'm also going to give you my titles, give you my descriptions, my pricing strategy. Everything is going to be given to you guys in this video totally for free. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this tutorial. All right, guys, so switching over to the computer here, the very first place to start is just to go to Google and type in Amazon KDP. This is the specific result that we are looking for. It says kdp.amazon. Now, the reason I say this is because as you scroll through the results here, you will see other companies that are kind of pretending to be Amazon KDP and trying to get beginners to click on their website and upload their books there, thinking that they're uploading them to Amazon. So just keep that in mind when you search for this. Make sure you are clicking on this result. And once you do, this is going to bring you to the homepage for Amazon KDP. Now, for those of you who are coming to Amazon KDP for the very first time, you will click on Join KDP. You can click on it here or up top in the header. Both are going to bring you to the same place. Now, a couple really quick but important things to know here is that if you have not joined Amazon KDP yet, one, it is free to join Amazon KDP. There are no monthly fees. There's nothing that you have to pay to Amazon KDP. Whenever you get a sale, the customer is paying for that entire book and the shipping up front. So we just get a split of that profit at the end. Two, you can sign up from anywhere in the world and you can sell to all of the Amazon marketplaces. So if you live outside of the United States, for instance, you can still sell your books to United States buyers. Amazon does all the printing, the shipping, the customer service from their local fulfillment centers. So you can be located in one country and making sales in another country. All of that happens automatically for us. And third and lastly, there is no application process where you have to wait to see if you are accepted or not. Everyone gets accepted right when they sign up. Now, for those of you who have not signed up to Amazon KDP yet, my best advice would be to watch this video through first. Make sure that you want to do the business model, and then you can come back here and you can click on Join KDP. You can go through that sign up process. Now, with that being said, essentially what Amazon KDP is it's just the department for Amazon that gives us the ability to upload our book contents to Amazon. They create a virtual listing for us on the marketplace, and then customers can come in, they can purchase the book. Amazon will then print it and ship it to the customer. And like I said, they manage all the customer service for us as well. Now, from this homepage, if you scroll down a little bit here, you are going to see there are some novels on the homepage. And this is one of the biggest misconceptions to Amazon KDP. New sellers come in here and think that you have to be an established author or you have to write full-fledged novels to sell those books on Amazon KDP. Well, let me just show you a real example here. So this is an Amazon KDP book. It is a password logbook. So you have your front cover that we create, you have your back cover that we create, and then every page inside, we upload essentially what gets printed on each page to Amazon. As you can see, this is a template style book. So every page has the exact same thing on it. And it's just a layout for people to keep track of their passwords. This is what I would call a functional book. People are buying it for a function. They're buying it for a reason. They want to keep their passwords written down somewhere that's not held digitally that can be hacked. Now, just to show you one more example here, another Amazon KDP book, front cover, back cover. This is a word search book. Although we are not going to be talking about these in this tutorial, this is one of my favorite topics of books to create. You have actual word search puzzles. And again, this is a functional book. People are buying it for entertainment without being on a screen. So guys, hopefully we're all on the same page as to what Amazon KDP is and how to sign up. I will put a link down in the description below to a full step-by-step tutorial that goes through on-screen recording, how to go through that actual sign-up process. So if you are signing up to Amazon KDP for the first time, that link will be down in the description of this video if you do need help with that later. Now that that is knocked out of the way, let's go ahead and keep moving forward. All right, guys, so I'm going to drop kind of a golden nugget right here in the start of this tutorial. This is going to be specifically what types of books to create for Amazon KDP that I think are going to sell the best in 2026. So as always, I try to keep things as transparent as possible. I'm just going to tell you what books I have been focusing on myself and what I'm going to be focusing on for 2026. And these fall into 4 categories. First, I will show you on the computer here is word search books. You've probably seen I've made a couple tutorials on this channel showing how to make word search books. I even made a custom tool that makes all of the word lists for the word search puzzles entirely free. You will find that in that tutorial. I'll leave a link to that one down in the description below as well. The second one is crossword puzzles. These are less saturated than word search puzzles. They're doing extremely well. They follow the exact same strategy as word searches. And again, I created a custom tool that you guys get to use for free. That tool creates all of the words and the clues for the words for those puzzles. For your guys' convenience, you can find it on my channel, but I will put a link to that tutorial down in the description below as well. And then this is the one that I'm leaning into heavily for 2026. This is Sudoku puzzles. Since Sudoku puzzles are the easiest of these four to create, and there's a ton of potential right now for 2026, that's the one that we will use as the example throughout this tutorial. And then just keep in mind, this same process that we're going to use for Sudoku puzzles, you can apply to all four of these book types for 2026. Now, before we jump into Sudoku puzzles and I show you how to do it, the last category that I'll tell you is activity books. And what these are essentially a combination of multiple of these puzzles all in the same books. It turns out it is an entire category by itself. So there are a lot of people looking for specific themed activity books. Again, I have a tutorial for this one showing you how to create these ones as well. I'll drop that link down in the description as well. So with all of that being said, this tutorial is going to focus on Sudoku puzzles because it is the easiest book to create and I'm seeing it having a ton of potential for 2026. What I'm going to do is show you my entire process on screen recording, and I've actually done a ton of research on this that I will just share with you guys openly for specifically what types of themes for Sudoku puzzles to create, and then I'll show you how to create an example of one of those so you can then take all this information and create a bunch of these books for yourself. Now, just as a forewarning here, as we get into the tutorial on how to do this, I'm going to keep it moving at a fast pace, but try to stick with me. And if you have any questions, just let me know down in the comments. I can always clarify those for you. But as usual, I'm going to try to cram as much value as possible into this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So this is actually going to be a great place for us to start. So just on Amazon, if you type in Sudoku books, just generally, and give that a search, as you start scrolling through these results, you're going to see that there are a lot of results, but something you will see that they all have in common is that they're all just general Sudoku puzzle books. There are no themes to these books. They're all just competing by offering the same thing. This is the big 2026 book, another 2026 book, extra large print, 1,000 plus Sudoku puzzles. They're not offering anything unique. Well, what I have found in the last couple of years on Amazon KDP is that there are a lot of people searching for specific types of these books. So this goes for word searches, for crosswords, activity books, and Sudokus, is that people are searching for themed versions of them. Now, the opportunity that this creates for us is that all of these buyers are already searching for these things on Amazon. They're searching for winter themed Sudoku books. They're searching for anxiety themed Sudoku books. All of these buyers are already searching for those on Amazon, but what you will find out the more research that you do is that sellers, people who are actually creating these books to sell on Amazon KDP, have not discovered all these specific book niches. Instead, they're watching tutorials or paying for courses that are teaching them the other strategy of going for the big top sellers, trying to create a similar book and run paid ads and get reviews to that book. Guys, if I can give you one piece of advice, and if this is the only thing that you take away from this video, let it be that there are so many underserved niches on Amazon that if you can find themed versions of functional books and create those where other sellers have not created them, your books are going to organically rank on Amazon and you won't need to use paid ads or get reviews in order for those books to sell. So essentially all we need to do here is we need to find out what are all these themed versions of Sudoku books that people are searching for, see if there is a lot of competition for that specific type of book on Amazon, and if not, we create those books ourselves, upload them to Amazon, and that is the full strategy. So when it comes to doing that research, I will show you my process for doing this. If you just go to Amazon and you try to search for it, you're going to have a really hard time pulling accurate data. The process just takes so much less time if you use a specific tool to do it. So I'll show you the tool that I personally use for this. This is the tool here. It is called BookBolt. If you've seen my other videos or tutorials on this channel, this is kind of my foundational tool for Amazon KDP. But this tool allows you to do the full research and then also has all the creation tools so you can create your book on here as well. Now, to be as transparent as possible, they do have a free trial. It's a 3-day free trial. But if you click on their pricing, you will see that they have two different plans. They have a newbie plan and a pro plan. The first thing that I will point out here is that it's automatically going to be selected on yearly. So that's if you pay for the whole year up front. It breaks down into this price per month. I would switch that to monthly just so you can see the prices if you're just signing up for 1 month. And that would be $11.99 per month for newbie or $23.99 a month for pro. Guys, I really wish that I could say that you only need the newbie plan for $11.99, but you actually do need the Pro plan in order to create all of the puzzles, crosswords, and Sudokus. Now, I personally have the Pro plan. That's why I have access to these tools. The good news for you if you're just getting started here is that they do have a free trial for both of these. So you can follow along in this tutorial by just doing a free trial. You don't have to pay anything, and that will give you 3 days of full access. So you can actually create as many of these books as you possibly can in 3 days, and then you can upload all of those to Amazon KDP, all while being on a free trial. Now, once the free trial does expire in 3 days, I do have a personal coupon code from them. It's good for 20% off of any of their plans. I will put a link to that down in the description below. I'll also put it up on the screen if you do need to enter that as a manual coupon code. But just know that that works on the Pro plan monthly, the newbie plan monthly, and both of them yearly as well. Now, speaking directly to those of you who are just starting out in Amazon KDP, I wholeheartedly know the feeling of not wanting to spend money when you're just starting a business. You're here to make money. Well, something that I wish someone had told me in the very beginning of starting this business is that this is giving you something unique to offer on Amazon's marketplace. The vast majority of sellers are using free tools to try to create their books to sell those on the marketplace. So by having access to a tool like this, that very few of the Amazon KDP sellers have, you can then create the unique things for the marketplace that Amazon will want to show to buyers. So either way, I will put the link to the free trial down in the description below. That is what you can use to follow along in this tutorial, and then feel free to use that for the next couple of days as well. All right, so with all of that out of the way, let me go ahead and get logged in here, and I'll show you how to actually create these books. All right, so once you get logged into BookBolt, this is what the homepage is going to look like. Now, if you've seen some of my other tutorials, they have actually upgraded BookBolt recently. So this is a relatively new look for most of you guys. I'll still show you how to use it compared to the older style. But essentially what we are going to do for our research to find out what are the specific themes of Sudoku books that we should be creating is you come over to the left side and go to keywords search. And then all you have to do is type in the type of book that you are creating up top. So we are creating a Sudoku book, and you can literally just type in Sudoku and give that a search. And then we are going to scroll down here and we are going to go to the left side and go to Amazon keywords. And this is essentially pulling all the behind the scenes search data from Amazon and then showing us specifically what people are searching for and then how many searches are happening on Amazon each month on average. Now, this in itself is kind of a gold mine for us. We can pick out all specific types of Sudoku books. These are all the specific themes, but we can additionally click on this button right here, more details, and it shows us how competitive that niche is. So this gives us the other side of the equation, which is how many sellers are competing to sell books to those buyers. So essentially, this is the first set of results right here. There are tons of pages here. There's like 500 results for each one of these searches. But as I'm looking through this, I'm seeing a couple different themes that stick out. So you have Christmas Sudoku, you got Halloween Sudoku. This is formatted real weird, so I'm just going to ignore that one. So Sudoku Kids 6 years. So I'm assuming that's going to be for 6-year-olds. So this would be very easy Sudoku puzzles with a cover geared towards 6-year-olds. If we wanted to see how competitive that is, we first just see, okay, there's 1,321 people on average searching for that each month. You click on the more details. This is going to show us that it is an A-rated niche. Now, essentially what that means is just like in school, if you did very well, you get an A. If you did very poorly, you get an F, and then every letter grade in between to tell you how well or how poorly you did. We are looking for A-rated niches, which means there are very few other sellers that are making books geared for that search term. So just like that, we have found our first theme for a Sudoku book. It has an A-rated competition score. It's estimating 250 something monthly sales, and there's over 1,000 people searching for that each month. Now, essentially all I would do from here is copy this. I would then go paste that in my list of A-rated niches. I'd go on to the next page, and then I'd scroll through here, see if I can pull any ideas out of here. And all of the ones that have an A-rated competition score and generally have over 1,000 people searching for them each month are the ones that I'm going to be copying and pasting into my list of book ideas to create. So guys, you can keep going through here, see if you find any other ones that jump out at you. You can check the competition score and you can start building your own list. Now, something else that I think would be really helpful for you to know and probably save you a lot of confusion, if you were looking at the more details for some of these niches and you see A-rated competition score, but the estimated monthly sales volume says 1 or 2 or sometimes even 0, just disregard the estimated monthly sales volume. We are really looking for the competition score of A. This is something that I've shown in another video on this channel, but I've actually done tests of these types of niches myself, where it was A-rated and it was a 0 or 1 estimated monthly sales volume, and those niches have performed just as well. Now, I should say you can do this exact same process for the other types of books that we've talked about: activity books, crossword books, and word search puzzle books. All of the research is done the exact same way with this tool, but that is the process for doing your research. Now, as mentioned, I've already done a ton of research on this niche, and for the sake of giving you guys as much value as possible in these videos, I'm going to put up a big list of all the great niches for Sudoku puzzles that I have found. I'll just put them up on the screen for you guys. feel free to pause this or screenshot this and keep this as reference, but these are the niches that I like the best for 2026. This is just as many of these as I could fit on the screen. There are even more out there, but this should get you guys off to a really good start. All right, guys, so with that out of the way, we can now move on to actually creating these Sudoku books. And then after that, I'll show you how to upload them to Amazon KDP. So let's go ahead and get into creating the books themselves. So we actually stay on BookBolt here and you come down to BookBolt Studio, just click on that. And then this will open up into their full graphic design suite where everything is geared toward making KDP books. So this is actually opened up to where I left off. I will show you in this video how to create a book just like this. It's a front cover, back cover. All of the Sudoku puzzles are all on each page. The software creates all of that for you. But when you open yours for the first time, it's probably not going to look like this. So you will have to click on Project and then New Project, and then set the top to paperback, cover, and interior. Project name, you can name Sudoku Puzzle. And then come down from there, select your trim size. I recommend 6x9, but you can also do larger if you'd like. Just to show you an example, this book that I was showing you before, this is actually in 6x9 size. So this is how big it is in your hand, how big the font is inside. This seems to be the perfect size in my experience. Now after that is interior and paper type. Set that to black and white interior with white paper, and then leave bleed on, and page count, set that to 110 pages. Now, once yours looks just like this, go ahead and click on Create Project. So guys, this is more realistically what yours is going to look like when you open it up. Basically, on the left side are all of your pages. They are blank right now, but you'll have all of those pages on the left side. And your cover is going to be the first one. Now, the cover looks pretty crazy at first, but basically all this is showing you is that the red area is where you want to stay out of. So don't put any text or any graphics overlapping over the red area. The other important thing to know here is that Amazon is going to automatically put a barcode right here where this yellow is. So make sure that you don't have any text or any graphics that would get covered up by Amazon putting that barcode on there. Guys, those are the only two really important things that you need to know. And then you can just click on this little opacity up here and then click on hide cover template and click on OK. Now, once you've done that, it looks a whole lot cleaner. Just keep in mind, the right side is going to be your front cover. The left side is going to be your back cover for your book. They are going to be saved in the same file just like this. This is the format that Amazon KDP wants us to upload. Now, for those of you who have created books for Amazon KDP using Canva or using another graphic design tool that's not built for KDP, you will know the struggle in knowing how specific and particular Amazon KDP is for their sizing. And that's why having a tool like this that everything kind of snaps to the right size makes this process so much easier. Now, when it comes to actually creating these books, we basically have two parts. We have to create the cover and we have to create the puzzles themselves. So the easiest thing to do here is just to start with the puzzles. So if you just click on the first page here, you click on the little puzzle icon. These are all of the pre-made templates that you can just click and add to your book. So depending on what type of book you are creating, you can just come in here, find that corresponding template, click and add it to your book, and everything's pretty much done. Now, once you get past these first couple, it will bring you into all of the puzzles. Again, you do need to have the pro level subscription to get access to these puzzles. However, these are the puzzles here. I will quickly show you that once you scroll past the puzzles, you will then have all of these kind of templates as well. These you can use on the newbie plan. So there's a ton of others that you can use without the pro plan, but in order to use the puzzle ones, you will need to have the pro plan. Now, with that being said, we are doing Sudoku puzzles. So that one is right here. You just click on that and you select what pages you want your puzzles on. Now, I'll do this with you. Basically, we have 110 pages. We set that for a reason. I'll kind of touch on that later when we're uploading it to Amazon KDP. But what we need to do here is we need to click on select from to, and we're going to do from page 1, click on OK, and then to page 55, and click on OK. So then this is going to select the first page all the way to page number 55, and that is essentially the first half of the book. So from there, click on continue to options. This, you can leave the vast majority of this as is. We are going to focus mainly right here. So this is going to be board size 9x9. If you're creating a different size book, you can change that. Difficulty, you can leave that on normal, but this is where you would change that. If you're creating this for children, you can switch it to very easy. If you're creating this for extremely hard puzzles, you can switch that to hard, but normal generally is fine and easy enough to solve without using too much brain power. And then the last one here is filled cells. Just leave that on auto. So from here, just scroll down all the way to the bottom. Like I said, you don't have to change any of this, and then go to continue to solutions pages. This, if you don't click on anything and you just come over to the side and scroll down, will already have the second half of the book fully selected. And essentially what this is that we selected the first half of the book. That is for all of the puzzles marked in red here. And then all the solutions to those puzzles will automatically be generated for the second half of the book. And then we're just going to click on submit. Just give this a second to do its thing here. And just like that, you will see that it generates all of these puzzles for us. It adds them to the pages. Once you get to the second half of the book, you will see that it has all of these solutions already generated for us as well. So the full interior of our book is entirely completed. That's how easy it is to do. Now, once you guys create word search puzzles and you create crossword puzzles or activity books, you will see that the process is very similar. You just have to add in your words list. Again, I show you how to do that in the other tutorials, but we use the same tool here on BookBolt to create those books as well. So guys, the interior of the book is entirely complete. Now we're just left with the cover. So my recommendation for you and kind of my hack for this is to create a cover, and then you can duplicate that cover to your next book and use it as a template. This is something that I've done with all of my other books. I have a couple different covers that I use as templates. I just basically copy paste them to the next book, change the colors, change the words, change the images, and then I have a brand new cover ready to use in just a matter of minutes. I will say though, when you're going through this the first time, you're going to have to create that cover yourself. So we're basically creating our first template from scratch. So let me pull up the last cover that I was working on here. It basically has what is the theme of that book, and then Sudoku, and then an image that corresponds to it. And then you just basically fill in this text based on whatever that specific theme of book is. So I'll show you how to create something similar to this, and then you can basically just copy paste this for each book in the future. So let's go back to the book we are creating. First, we are going to go to the shapes up top right here, click on that, and then click on the first one. It is a rectangle, and then close on this little arrow here to close out those shapes so we can actually work with it. And then the very first step is basically to take this over the corner all the way past it, and then drag it all the way past the other corner. So the whole thing is overlapping over it. There's no white showing like this. Now, once you've done this, you've basically given yourself a color background that you can use. The way to change that color is just to click on the black up top here, and you can change this to any color that you want. You just slide everything around and you can choose any specific color that you want to use. Once you've done that, just click on OK, and now you have a colored background for your cover. Now I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to click on the delete button and actually delete that. I want to show you kind of a trick that I've been using for these books, specifically for the ADHD or anxiety or calming your mind. Textures do extremely well for that. So as you saw in this book, we have kind of a paper texture back here. The way to do that is to go to the file library, which actually looks like a graphic right here. And then you can go to either Pixabay or Unsplash. They will both work for this. And then just type in paper texture. That's what I'm looking for specifically. These are all going to be textures that you can use. Just click on preview and it will open it up and you can see what that looks like. And any of these that you want to use, you just click on it. This will add it directly to your cover and then just size it accordingly. So I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger, drag that out, and make sure that it is overlapping over the edges so there's no white. So this is the front cover right here. I'm just going to right click it and do duplicate. Now I put a second one over top of it, and I'm just going to drag this one to the other side. Again, make sure that there's no white in the middle, and everything will kind of snap into place here. And just like that, it covers up everything. So we have that texture. If I were to zoom in here, you can see that that texture is covering the whole thing. There's no white showing. Now, this is a good point to say that if you do zoom in here and you want it to go back to the regular zoom so you can see everything, just click on the fit button right here, and it brings you right back to how you started. So guys, looking at this cover that we've created over here, now let's go ahead and put our text on here. So to do that, all we're going to do is click on the text icon, click on add a heading. And then again, we're going to close this out so we can work with it. Just drag this over to the right side. It will snap to the center of the front page. And this is where you can type in your topic. So we're doing ADHD. A little trick I can give you here is just to click on that, right click it, again, duplicate it, and then you can drag this down below it. This gives you more freedom, so you can have things really close or you can have them further away without having to basically have two lines of text in the same text box. So this next line is going to be Sudoku. And then let's see what other text we have over here. We have text at the bottom and then two text boxes over here. So to add in more text, you can do one of two ways. You can just go back over to the text and you can add in more text over here, or you can just, again, right click, duplicate, bring that down to the bottom. Again, we are going to make that smaller down here. So just click on one of the corner dots and just drag that smaller, and you can snap that right to the center. Let's see what this one said here. It says, relax and focus your mind. So we'll just type that in here, double click. And then that is a little close to the green here. I want to make sure that I'm staying away from that, giving myself enough room. So I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. And then again, just snap that to the center. And then as you can see, we have some text on the back as well. So the same concept, we're just going to right click, duplicate, bring one over here, and then right click, duplicate. We'll bring another one up top here. So to get this to fit, I'm just going to click on fit again. We can see everything we're working with. And I'm just going to quickly have all of this typed in just so it saves you some time. All right, so there's our text typed in here. I'm just going to drag this down so it looks like it is in a good spot compared to the front title. And I'm going to bring this one down again as well, leaving room to put a graphic in the middle, a graphic here. But keep in mind here, we are going to have the barcode put in the bottom right corner, so we don't want this to be too low where the barcode's going to cover it up. So guys, once you have all your text here, you can change the font of that text. So all you do is click on the text box itself, and then it will open up all of these options here. Just click on Open Sans, that's the default font, and you can switch that to any different font that you want. So you can switch it to script font, you can switch it to something else that looks more appealing for this type of book. This is the specific font that I used for this book, and then you can go through and you can change all of the different fonts to match that same one. So guys, at this point, our cover is almost done. We just have to add in our graphics. And then this is something extra that I had done on this one. It's just another graphic in the shape of ADHD, just making this stand out a little bit more. That is something extra for these books. It's not something that you really have to do. I will show you how to do that here in a second, but the standard way of doing this is just to select this font. You change it to something else. You could have the top line different than the one below it, just to make this stand out a little bit more than Sudoku. So all that we've got left here is to put the graphics on the front and the back. Again, this is all optional. You can do this any style that you like to do it. This is just generally what I like the best. The way to do that is you can come over here and click on the graphics again. You can go to Pixabay or Unsplash again and just type in something like relaxing icon. This is going to give you different icons that you could use. Let's preview this and see what these are. It's a little hard to see. I don't think those are going to work for this. We could use something from here, but generally it's not going to give you a ton to choose from. So I'll kind of show you the trick that I've been using for this. I X out of this and I actually use one other tool for this. I've been using this tool for years for print on demand, but it's kind of like a hack right now with everyone using AI for their designs. It gives you something that is hand created by a professional graphic designer and you have a huge library to choose from. So this would be the standard way, is just to look for the graphics here. The other way that I've been doing is to go to placeit.net. Again, in total transparency, this is a paid tool. If you go to pricing, you will see that this starts at $7.49 per month. From experience, I know that this is their annual pricing. So if you pay for the whole year up front, it's going to break it down to $7.49 per month. If you are just paying on a monthly basis where you want to go month by month, I believe it's about $15 per month. I do have a coupon code from them as well, since I've been using them for so many years. I believe it's 15% off of any of their plans. Again, I will put a link to that down in the description below. As I was saying that for you guys, I just went and found it really quick. It is 15% off, so it brings it down to $6 per month if you pay on annual, or $12.70 per month if you pay on a month-to-month basis. I'll put a link to that down in the description, but that gives you unlimited access to all of these graphics. So with that being said, let's go back to the homepage here. And the way to use this tool for these graphics is you can do it a couple different ways. The easiest way is just to click on designs right here and then scroll through here and see if you can find a design that is relatively close to what you are trying to create. So we are creating a book with an ADHD theme. So we're basing it on calming your mind down. So right at the top here, we had one that has a plant. That is going to be perfect for what we are looking for. So we'll just click on this. This is going to show some other suggestions that we could use as well, but we really just want to get close to it. And I'll show you why here, because this gets us into the library and then we can search for specifically what we're looking for. So I'm just going to click on edit. And then once you have opened up a design, you have access to the full library. So just click on this little icon right here. This is the plant graphic. Click on edit. And now you can search through this entire library. This library is the library that I'm talking about. All these graphics are created by professional graphic designers. This is not just typing in what you were looking for into an AI tool or searching an existing library like Pixabay or Unsplash. These designs are what I find give you the most unique book on Amazon KDP. Again, you have access to a tool to create the puzzles, which not many people have. And then you have access to this tool that even fewer people have access to, especially the combination of both of them. That's how you create books that really stand out on Amazon KDP. So anyways, you can scroll through this. This is going to be searching for plants, and you can just pick out different designs and it will put them right here onto your canvas. You can even search for different things that you're looking for. So if we type in relaxing, it's going to pull up all of these designs. Again, these are all graphics that other people don't have access to. So you could put in something like this, and then there are thousands and thousands that you can choose from. But once you find one that you want to use, just set the colors. So if I X out of this and show you how to do this fully, you would just go back to whatever you selected, click on edit, and then these are your colors of the graphic right here. So I want to switch that to something that matches our cover that we have going over here. And that's going to be kind of the tranquil colors, the tan, the light gray. So let's do kind of that earthen brown over here. That's going to give us a tan. And then I'll X out of that and switch the other one to kind of a gray. Okay, that looks like that's going to work. So let's say that we want to use this one right here. The way that we actually download this is just X out of all of these. We are going to delete the other font that is on this page. We don't need it. And then this is what's awesome about this. You just click on background color right here. scroll all the way to the bottom corner, and they have a transparent background. Guys, this is something that's really hard to find from other tools. They do have it on Canva Premium, which costs about $15 per month, so a little bit more expensive than this. But Canva's graphics are not all copyright free. All the graphics that you find here on Placeit are copyright free and commercially usable, which is perfect for Amazon KDP. So guys, this is the graphic that I'm going to download. Just click on download, give this 1 second to load. It will then change to click here to download. Just click on that once. It'll download it straight to your computer. And now you have this graphic with a transparent background that you can put directly onto your cover on BookBolt. So let's go back over to BookBolt. We are then going to go back to the file library. And from here, we're going to go to My Uploads and go to Upload Image. We can select that graphic from right off of our computer and then just click on it, and it will add it directly to our book cover. So guys, this was a very basic example of this, but I wanted to show you how to put this cover together. Once you've got that graphic on the front, you can put the same graphic on the back, or you can do what I've done where you do 2 different graphics. It's the same process. Both of these came from Placeit, but if you wanted to put that same one on the back, again, just click on that graphic, right click, duplicate, then you can put it over here on the back. We'll make it a little bit smaller so it fits. And there you go. This would be a very basic example of how to create the cover, both the front, the back, custom graphics, everything's ready to use. So while we were talking about this, quickly let me show you how I created this ADHD style of these letters here. This is actually done on Placeit as well. So just how we got our graphic the same way, you come over to the library and go to edit. And then instead of typing in relaxing here, you actually type in different types of letters. So this is floral letters was what I used for this example. So floral letters, and it's going to give you numbers and letters of the alphabet in different floral styles. So you would basically just pick the letters that you want to have in that word. So let's say we wanted to start with a C for the word that we were spelling. Go ahead and we're going to add another graphic. We'll go back to floral letters. We'll pick the next letter in that word. Let's say it was a K. Then we can put that next to it. And then you can keep adding letters and you can spell out the word that you were trying to create. Just remember for these, you change the colors the same way. So you would go to edit and then you would change the color here to make sure that they all had the same coloring. And you can basically spell out your word, download that as its own graphic, and then you come back over to BookBolt and you upload that right here as a graphic. So guys, just like that, this book is entirely complete. It's ready to get downloaded and we can go upload it to Amazon KDP. The last optional step that I do want to show you here is on this book, I was putting a quote on each page, just something that is related to the topic of the book. So these are quotes from people that you would know and recognize, and they are quotes that just kind of put your mind at ease. Since Sudoku puzzles are just numbers and they can be related to any topic, all we really have is the cover to set what the theme of that book is. Well, by taking it one step further and putting a quote that is related to that topic on each page, it just gives a better experience for the buyer once they buy that book, so that each puzzle they're working on, it's still related to the topic that they bought that book for. I will say you can go to Google and you can look up quotes, make sure that you are putting who said that quote to give them credit, or you can go to something like ChatGPT and you can give it a prompt like write me a list of, we have 55 puzzles, so you'll do 55 quotes. And then something that I find helps is saying by well-known authors to help people calm their minds if they have ADHD. Or you could do any similar version of this and then just click on go. And most of the time, this is going to generate good results that you can use. So in order to add these, all we have to do is go to the text over here. And instead of a heading, go ahead and click on add multi-line text. This will add that to our page. And then just click on the little arrow to close this out so we can work with it. Then just click and drag this up to the top. And a little trick here is you can drag these to the side just to give us more room to put our quote here. And then once this is close to the edges but not overlapping the green, go ahead and click and drag this and snap it to the center. Make sure that it is not overlapping the top green line either. And then one more step, click on the little formatting right here, and we're going to align that horizontally to the center, and then click on OK. And then just right click, and we're going to copy this, go back over to BookBolt. Now we're just going to select all of this, and we're going to Command V or Control V, which should be paste on your computer. And just like that, you have a quote that you can have at the top of each page. Now you can select all of this and you can make the font smaller if you'd like. So it's 16 right now. I'm just going to drag that a little bit smaller. Let's put it at 14. Okay, something just like that would look great. So guys, that's how you add the quote here. And again, you can click on that and change the font if you'd like, just like we've done before. And then if you want to add a different one to each page, you basically just right click, copy, go to page 2. We're going to right click and paste. That will add the text box there for you. You would then go back to ChatGPT, go ahead and copy the next one, go back here, select it, Command V, and you can paste it. And then you basically go through all of the pages and you can add a custom quote to each one. And guys, that is just a really nice addition if you feel like doing this for each page. Again, not required. It's just something extra you can do to make your book stand out and give the user a better experience. All right, guys, so we've obviously just done 2 quotes here, but let's say that we've added all of our quotes in here if we decided to do that. All we have to do now is go to download and then download current project CMYK printed books. It's the very first option. So just click on that. This is just going to load and it's actually going to download directly to our computer. Once this downloads, you have one more step, and what that is to unzip the file. So as you can see, this says .zip. If I double click this, I'm on a Mac computer, it will unzip that folder automatically, and it will add it right into the downloads on my computer as a folder. This then has the exact files that we need to upload to Amazon KDP. The 2 of them being the paperback cover file and the paperback interior file. If you're using a PC, then you just need to manually unzip the folder. In most cases, this is just right-clicking on the zip file and clicking unzip, and it will basically unzip that zip file and turn it into a folder that's in your computer's downloads. Although this sounds confusing, once you've done it the first time, it's very easy to do in the future. If you're on a Mac, it's literally just double clicking it. So anyways, hopefully that all makes sense. But once that is downloaded to your computer and you've unzipped it, you are now ready to go over to Amazon KDP and upload this. So I'll actually go ahead and do that with you. I'll go over to Amazon KDP and we'll do this entire upload. This part is actually the easiest part of the process. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to Amazon KDP's homepage. I'm going to click on sign in because I already have an account. This will bring me into my dashboard. And then once you get logged in, this is what your dashboard looks like. And we are looking for the big yellow button right here. That is to create a new book. Now, real quickly, I want to show you something on this account. So if you go to reports right here, it's going to show you your earnings. And this account right here only has 8 books listed on it. This is the account that I use to create these tutorials, show you in these YouTube videos how to create these books, but it has 8 books that have had absolutely 0 marketing. I don't even log into this account unless I'm creating a tutorial, and it has made $28.84 in the last month. Guys, this is a perfect example of what I am showing you in these tutorials and actually uploading them to Amazon, doing no marketing, no paid ads, no reviews. These books created with this strategy actually sell. So anyways, I just saw that when I was opening up this account and I had to show it to you guys. So let's go back to Bookshelf here. We are going to go to that yellow button that says create new title or series. We are then going to scroll down a little bit. You're going to have a few options here. Just click on paperback. We're going to click the yellow button here, create paperback. And then these are the couple questions that we fill in. I will give you all of my pre-made templates. I'll actually put them in here so you can use them for yourself if you'd like. But we're basically picking our language, our price, our title and description, and then uploading the book's cover and interior pages. So I'll literally go through this step by step with you. Language, just leave that on English unless you are creating in another country and trying to sell to buyers that speak a specific language. Now for book title and book subtitle, I will give you my copy paste that I use for this. For the book title, this is what I use, X Sudoku puzzle book, and you just switch X to whatever it is. This is ADHD themed. This is very simple. We're basically just telling Amazon what is on the cover of this book. Now, I like to put in puzzle book, but in some cases, if your book does get kicked back from Amazon and they say, hey, we want you to change your book's title to match what is on the book's cover, just know that that is totally normal. They are just looking for your book title to say the exact same thing that is on your book's cover. So for instance, for this book, if they do kick it back for some reason, they are looking for it to say literally just ADHD Sudoku or ADHD Sudoku, relax and focus your mind. That is what they may be wanting as the book's title. So just keep that in mind if they do kick it back. That's what they're looking for. But generally what I'm doing is this right here. It just looks really clean. And most of the time it is going to be accepted with no issues. Now for the subtitle, it's a little bit longer. I will show you what mine is. This is what my template is here. And again, for X, we're just going to change out what that theme is. ADHD, Sudoku puzzles for ADHD. Help calm the mind, relax, and focus. 6 by 9 inches, which is the size of the book. 110 pages, which is how many pages are in the book. And then 50 plus puzzles. This is a really good looking number. I put that in all of my books that I list on Amazon. And that just gives the buyers peace of mind that there are a substantial amount of puzzles in the book that they are purchasing. And then the last thing, which is important for Sudoku puzzles, is solutions included. A lot of people are looking for that to make sure that they actually have the solutions to the puzzles that they are trying to figure out. Nothing would be worse and more aggravating is that if you can't figure out the puzzle and then there's no solution for it. So this is the way that I format it. Feel free to use the same for your own if you'd like. There are a million niches out there, so I'm not worried if you guys use the same format that I do. So guys, that is the book title and the book subtitle, both very important, and that's how I do mine. So series, you can scroll straight over that. Edition number, scroll past that. Author name, you can put your first and your last name. If you do want to stay anonymous in this, you can actually use a pen name. Amazon says this is totally okay, so you can make up your own name if you'd like. Just make sure that it is, one, not going to be the name that someone else is already using on Amazon, and two, not the name of a brand or a company that you would recognize. That means that they own the rights to it. Now, for those of you who are wanting to use a pen name, but you're getting stuck on coming up with a name, try not to get hung up on this part. It is not all that important, and you can use a different pen name for every book that you create. So what I would recommend is using your initials, something like mine would be GG, and then puzzle books or Sudoku books. Again, you can use the same, or you can use a different author name for each one of the books that you upload. Now, before moving on here, just something that I've learned from experience, if they do kick it back and they say that you need to change your author name, it's typically because it is being used by someone else, especially if someone has the same initials as you and they use puzzle books as well. So just customize this. You can add in your middle initial, you can add in another letter, make this more unique to yours, and then resubmit it. Now, beyond that is contributors. So if anyone helped you create the book and you want to give them credit, you can add them here as well. This is not somewhere that you need to put my name. I've seen some people putting my name as the contributor. I don't know if they're trying to get ranking power on Amazon or not, but please don't put my name as the contributor. That's not how that's meant to be used there. Now, something else to note here is that the author name, once it does get accepted and your book is published, that cannot be changed in the future. And that is okay. It's really not a big deal. The contributor name is something that you can add and delete in the future. So that's something that if you do want to add a contributor down the road, you do have the ability to do that. Now, beyond that is the description. This is going to be an important part of this process. Again, I have a streamlined way of doing this. What we are going to do is we are going to use ChatGPT for this. Go to start a new chat. And there's two ways that you can kind of do this. The first way through, you're going to have to go to Amazon, find a book that you like the description for. And I'm just going to use this one for example, and then click on read more of their description right here. And you can actually copy their entire description. I can tell just looking at it, this description was made on ChatGPT as well, but you could copy this and then go back over to ChatGPT. And then you can just type in use this and then put in quotation, paste to paste all that, and another quotation, and then say to write me an Amazon product description for a Sudoku puzzle book made to help calm the mind of people with ADHD. This again, you can customize this at the end to be specific to what type of book you are creating. But the concept here is you're saying use this, and then you're pasting someone else's description that you like the look of, and then saying to write me my own version of this for this specific type of book. And then just click on enter. And this is going to go to town just writing this out for you. And then you can copy this and use it as your own description. Now, I actually have a specific template that I use myself. I will show you how I do it, and then I can show you the results that I get. But for you, the first time through, you may be going to Amazon to find someone else's to use as that reference point for ChatGPT. So anyways, I'll show you how I do mine. So let's go over here. I'm going to go copy mine real quick. So this is mine, use this, and then I'm going to quotations. I'm going to paste it right here, and then to write me, and it's the same thing as before. And then just click on enter. And this is what I've given it. That's my own personal template. And then it's just going to write it out for me. And there you go. Once this finishes, you can literally copy this and then go back over to Amazon KDP. And this is where you can click up here and you can paste it. So guys, that is how I create the descriptions here. Basically, by doing it this way, ChatGPT is extremely well at writing these product descriptions and pulling in relevant keywords. So they know what people are looking for when they're reading product descriptions to see if they're going to purchase that or not. And since we gave them the type of book and the topic that we're creating and told them that it's going to be on Amazon, they know what keywords to use for that description. So that's the easiest way that I found to do this. Obviously, just read through this one time to make sure that everything makes sense for the book that you have created. Make sure that the sizing is right, the pages, the amount of puzzles, all of that is accurate. And just like that, that is your description. So moving on from here, you have publishing rights. Just click on the first one. I own the copyright and hold the necessary publishing rights. And then for primary audience, click on no. You don't have to select a minimum or maximum age either. If you are creating a book for children, then you can select the ages here. Otherwise, just leave that as is. Primary marketplace, leave that on Amazon.com. Again, unless you are trying to sell to a specific country, then you can set that here. And then for categories, this is going to help tell Amazon what our book is about. We are going to click on choose categories. And then for select one, click on humor and entertainment. And then we're going to click on puzzles and games. And then these are going to be all of those types of books. We have Sudoku right here. You can do general, and then you can do math games. That's kind of the best fit for Sudoku. This whole upload process, specifically the categories here, is going to be the same process if you're creating the other types of books we talked about, word searches, crosswords, activity books. Same thing here. You'll just select what is relevant. So word games, word search, depending on what type of book you are creating. So we've got 3 to select here. We've selected all 3 of them. Just click on save categories. And then we are going to skip over low content book and large print book. We don't need either of those. And it brings us straight into keywords. So we actually have 7 opportunities here to tell Amazon what we want to show up for when people are searching for something specific. So the first thing we want to put in is the main type of book we have. And you don't have to worry about capitalization at all. So ADHD, Sudoku, puzzle, book. That's the main thing that we want to show up for. Now, for the other ones, we can think, what would someone be searching for that we want to show up for on Amazon? So this could be something like ADHD gift ideas, Sudoku puzzle book gift, and then Sudoku puzzles for ADHD. And then once you've kind of got the obvious ones out of your head, then let's go back over to Amazon, and we're going to actually click up top. Let's type in ADHD Sudoku books, give that a search, and then click on it again. And then this will bring up what other people are searching that's similar to this search. So we have ADHD books, ADHD puzzle books. That would be a good one right there. ADHD workbook. Let's do ADHD puzzle books and workbook. ADHD puzzle books and ADHD workbook. Let's see if we can get one more from over here. Let's click on another one of these and search it. And then let's see what auto suggestions come up. Okay, we've kind of exhausted that whole list. Let's then go back to our normal search here of ADHD Sudoku books. And then we'll scroll down and look at the results for what actually shows up when you search it and see if we can pull any good keywords from other books that are ranking on the first page here. So let's do Sudoku books for focus. What I found from experience is that if you can get the general ideas of what someone would be searching to find this type of book written down here very simply, that's enough for Amazon to kind of match you up to show for those results. So coming down from here, leave both of these as is. We don't have to touch those and go to save and continue. And then next up is your ISBN. Just click on Assign ISBN and click on Assign ISBN. This is basically Amazon giving you a free ISBN number. Now, if you don't know what an ISBN number is, it's basically an identification number for your book. Now, if you're selling your book somewhere outside of Amazon KDP, you actually have to pay for these ISBN numbers, and they're not very cheap. This is one of the very nice perks of selling on Amazon KDP, is that they give you ISBN numbers totally for free, not just on your first book, but on every book that you publish to Amazon KDP. So that is going to be the number that Amazon puts with our barcode on the back of our book. All this happens automatically, and it's free for us, which is awesome. So from there, just leave it on black and white interior with white paper, 6x9 trim size. If you do need to change that, just click on select a different size. These are going to be the most popular sizes here. You can add in your own size if you need to. And then we're going to put this on bleed. Bleed is basically just giving you insurance that you can print all the way to the edges of your book. And then matte or glossy finish. Now I can actually show you 2 real examples here. This is glossy finish. It just has a shiny finish. And this is a matte finish book. It's just smoother to the touch and doesn't reflect the light. Both of these are good options. I don't know that the buyer will even know the difference when they are purchasing it. It's really just going to be personal preference up to you. So both matte or glossy, you can pick either of those. There's no difference in cost to print the book or anything like that, but that covers all of those for us. So from here, we have upload our manuscript and upload our book cover. So these are the files that we got from BookBolt. So first, let's do upload manuscript. We're just going to open up that folder, and then we're going to click on paperback interior. So whenever you hear manuscript, basically think of interior. That's the inside pages. We'll click on upload. Just give that a second to upload, and it will upload that file. Then it'll say save successful. And then next is your book cover. So you can say use the cover creator, but we've already created our cover. So we click on upload a cover you already have, and then upload your cover file. This, we're just going to, instead of the paperback interior, we're going to click on paperback cover and upload that. Same thing, just give this a second to upload, and then it will say save successful. Now, once that is uploaded, I would say just wait here for 1 second. You're going to get both of these green check marks. That means that they have properly uploaded successfully. It's just nice to wait an extra second there to make sure that you get the green check marks. Next question, did you use AI to create this book? No, we did not. So from there, we go down and go to Launch Previewer, which is the next yellow button. This is then going to take the files that we've uploaded, and it's going to format them how it would go to their printers. So we actually get to see a sneak preview here of how this will be printed. Again, it has all of these same dots that we had over on BookBolt, so we know everything is aligned perfectly. We weren't kind of guessing here. And then we saw that it did put that barcode in the background, and it didn't cover anything up. So this all looks perfect. We can then go to the next page. You can actually look at each page. You can see that it's all within the lines. You can go page by page, and you can check all of this if you'd like. But since we made it on BookBolt, I already know there's no issues with formatting. And then once you've checked it all, made sure there's no typos, no formatting issues, just click on approve. And then it will bring you to the top of this page. We are going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to go to save and continue. So guys, this is the last page here. It's basically just setting our price that we want to sell the book for and figure out how much profit we'll make on each sale. So territories, leave all territories, just leave that as is. primary marketplace, Amazon.com. It's what we set before. We can't even change it at this point. And then we get to the price of the book. So I'll actually give you some of my inside information here on pricing strategy, but what I would recommend for you is to start at either $7.99 or $8.99 for your book. So let's say we want to sell this at $8.99. All you have to do is type in the first one here, which is the Amazon.com marketplace in US dollars. And once you've typed in that first number, it will fill out all of the other sale prices on the other marketplaces for you. But really what we need to do is understand how this goes across. So let me walk through this with you. So if we set our sale price at $8.99, we are going to get 50% of that sale. That's our royalty. So times 0.5. $4.49 every time we get a sale. However, we also pay for the printing. We don't pay for it up front. The customer pays for it, but it comes out of our split. So Amazon doesn't pay for the printing themselves. So we have to subtract the $2.32. And that means we are left with $2.17.5 or $2.18 of pure profit that comes to us from each one of these sales. Now, from experience, this is something that I love about this business so much. We are only making $2.18 in profit for each one of these sales. Most people who look at this business, they think that that is too small of an amount of profit that they don't even consider doing this business. It's only going to make $2. I'm not going to make any real money. They're actually looking at the wrong variable here. Yes, the amount of profit is low, but the scale is extremely high. It's actually infinite. So you have millions of people going to Amazon making purchases of things every single day. So there are tons of customers making purchases. So although it's only $2 per sale, the amount of people making purchases is so high. So that's the one that we actually want to be high. Now, I will say here that part of this strategy, we're starting at $7.99 or $8.99 as a sale price. That is going to encourage people to purchase it. That is a pretty low price. Now, once you see that this book starts to sell well, I would bring that price up to $9.99. This is kind of where I would leave it. You can't really go much past it because these books don't sell for a lot over $10. Now, the reason that I would bring it to $9.99 is that Amazon put in a new rule rather recently that says that books priced at $9.99 will get 60% royalties instead of 50% royalties. This is in an effort for Amazon to get all of their books on Amazon KDP, get all of the prices up. They're essentially keeping up with inflation. They're just getting everyone to raise their prices slowly. They're kind of incentivizing us as sellers. So if we have it at $8.99, we're only going to get 50% of that as a profit. So we get $2.18. If we just raise that to $9.99, we're just raising it $1. Our royalty goes up to $3.36 per sale. So that's ultimately where we want to be. But in the beginning, I say start it at $7.99 or $8.99. Just make sure that book is selling well and then creep it up to $9.99. Guys, the last thing in this first row here is the expanded distribution. You can turn this on and it's basically going to allow Amazon to sell your book outside of Amazon. You get a smaller amount of profit. You only get $1.28. But these are basically just extra sales that you don't have to do anything for. Now, guys, we are almost done here, but there's one more tip that I can give you here, and that is to round up all of these auto-generated sale prices to the closest 99. It's just going to make it look better, so people are more inclined to buy it, even though it's a few cents more. You will see overall that you're going to get more sales. There's been a ton of business studies done about this, but prices ending in 97, 98, or 99 tend to convert the best. So just go through all these and switch them all to 99 before you're finished. And that covers all of those. They're all switched to 99. And that's a good point to say that these are all of the other marketplaces that your book will be listed and available for sale, which is awesome. All of that happens automatically, totally for free. So guys, that is it. So we're all the way at the end here. This is just saying it can take up to 72 hours once you submit this book for it to be approved and live on Amazon's marketplace. Within those 72 hours, Amazon's basically reviewing your book, making sure that there's no formatting issues or anything that they don't want to be on their marketplace. If you do get an email from them that says that they want something changed, that is totally normal. So then you just go back, you just edit this book and you resubmit it again. Guys, that is the whole process here. You can request a proof of this book if you'd like. I would recommend just clicking on publish your paperback book, give it that time to be approved. Once it gets approved, you can purchase it straight from the listing on Amazon. Now, once you finish this first book and you've got it published to Amazon KDP, your next steps would be to come back to BookBulk, either do more research to find other niches to go into, or create multiple books on the same niche that you've already created. And the way to do that, my favorite way, it's kind of an efficiency trick here, is just to do clone project. And I'm just going to name it the next book in line. So we're going to do ADHD 2. and then we'll click OK. And this is basically going to duplicate this exact project into another one. And now we can use this cover as a template for the next book. And then for each one of these pages, we can actually delete all of the puzzles and recreate new puzzles so they don't have the same interior. The way to do that is to go to Edit, and we're going to go to Clear Pages. We will select all of them. Make sure that you unselect your cover so it doesn't clear the cover. And we're going to do Clear Page Templates. Click on OK. This will leave all of your quotes at the top, but it will clear all of those puzzles so that you can go back and start with new Sudoku puzzles. What we've just done is a rinse and repeat process. So you go into all of the different niches that you can find using this same process, creating books similar to this. As a reminder, all of the resources, the coupon codes, anything that I have to help you guys will be down in the description below. If you have any questions at all, just let me know in the comments. And as always, guys, if you did enjoy this video and you appreciate getting it for free instead of inside of a paid course, please just give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments. I would really appreciate that. Otherwise, I really hope that this video has been helpful, and I will plan to see you guys all in the next one.